Hello once again, everyone. This is Roy, and welcome to the Roy Tech channel. Uh, this video is about creating your first Visual Studio project. In the last video, I've shown you, or I've introduced you to the course and shown you a sample application, which we will eventually develop in this project. Now, in this video, we will create our first Visual Studio C# project, and I will introduce you to the components of the Visual Studio screen. Let us start that right away. Now, you open Visual Studio 2022 by double clicking its icon. Okay, and once the box opens, you choose create a new project. Now, there are many things that you can create in Visual Studio, like web pages, mobile applications, and others. In this course, or rather in this tutorial, we are going to limit ourselves to the C# language, to Windows applications, and particularly desktop applications. Okay, and then we are going to choose the Windows Form app .NET application framework using the .NET framework. Now, for Visual Studio 2019 users, there's not much of the difference between the two versions because they both use .NET Framework 4.7. So you can easily port your Visual Studio application from, or rather migrate from Visual Studio 2019 to Visual Studio 2022. There's nothing to do to worry about it. You just compile it the normal way you compile. Likewise, no, you should uh, check the play solution and project in the same directory to avoid confusion, especially when you're not the administrator in the PC that you are using. So the very first thing to do is to name the project and identify the folder where you're going to store the project. Okay, so let's call this uh, uh, DB project because this will be a database project. Okay, we will develop this one by one until we complete the whole application, which I've shown you in the last two videos. Okay, at this point, once you have given it a name, we click create. Okay, you have to wait a while. Now it creates the project in your designated folder. It create it as a solution. Okay, a solution is a file that stores the components of the project. Okay, the details of the project. This is the solution that you will always open. For example, if you will close Visual Studio and you are going to open it again, okay, you're going to choose the solution, not the project, because there's no such thing. Okay, we can open a project or solution. Okay, and then from our DB project folder, there it is. You have the project. No, do you follow it? There's a project file and there's a solution file. Okay, you open the solutions file. Okay, a project is inside a solution. Okay, now before we proceed to running this, how do we use Visual Studio? Okay, basically we create programs by using forms. No? Forms are the visual representations of applications when they are running in Windows. Forms can contain components such as text, labels, no? Images, and others, typical of applications that you have used before, like Word and Excel. Okay, so the form is basically when you create your first project, a default form called the first form or form one is created for you. So it shows it in design view in this window, in this form window. Okay, and then on that first line you have the Visual Studio main menu, where you can use to which you can use to run extend manage Visual Studio, like add extensions, remove extensions, no, and then test features such as connect to SQL Server. Okay, make queries, no, and then you can run. Although there's also a tool rather palette, no, a palette of buttons where you can start running your applications. Now we will go through this one by one as we use them in our project. Okay, and then the palette, tools palette can, in this case, is first used by clicking the start button. The start button will run your application. Okay, and then it runs there as an application in Windows. You can stop the application by clicking X or the close button, or clicking the stop debugging button. Okay. So aside from the form window, you will have the Solutions Explorer to the right. The Solutions Explorer shows you the different components or forms that you have created, forms and reports that you have created under your project. Okay. You also use this to add components by right-clicking on the project and clicking Add. Okay, and so on and so forth. We'll go through that also. And then below is the Properties window. The Properties window is the set of properties that are associated with what you're editing on the form. Like in this case, we are getting the properties of Form 1. What are properties? They are properties that can be used to manipulate how the form appears. Like its size, its for color, its text, and so on and so forth. Now, the properties window can be viewed in several ways. It can be viewed alphabetically. You can view the events. Okay, the events are properties that you can use to manipulate how the form is executed. You can also click to the properties, no? Properties and events. The properties manipulate how the form look like, and events manipulate how the form is run. Okay, and then in the lower part, in the lower box, you will have an output. This is where your errors will occur during compilation. Okay? You will have an error list and you will have an output list, whether you are successful or not. Okay, so to run the project, you just click start. And then to stop it, you can close the X button, or press the close button, or press the stop button in the tools palette. Okay, now you will have a toolbox which you can use to put components into your form. Now, in the next video, I'm going to show you how to first uh, manipulate your, rather put components into the form. Okay, see you in the next video, and bye for now.